Hey guys, so how to market accounting services. Now, this is a question that in the beginning was extremely frustrating for me because I just did not know what I was doing when I started my six-figure accounting and bookkeeping business. But nowadays, it's a very fun activity, and it's just like, after a while, marketing doesn't even become like the main concern of your business. Like it's very interesting, right? When you're starting out, it's like, how do I get clients? I need to get clients. I need to make money. I need to go. But after a while, it's like, okay, so what's the most efficient way? How do I spend as little time marketing, as much time spending time with like my clients, right? So I want to kind of get you to that point today. So we're going to talk about 4 different types of marketing that's going to allow you to be able to really grow. And I'm going to be thinking in terms of marketing as categories. Also, if you ever want some help growing your business, but maybe you've been trying for a while, it's just not quite going the way you want, or you're thinking about starting a business, but you want to avoid a lot of mistakes, go ahead and click the link inside the description above or below the video to book a call to see if our mentorship program can be helpful for you to get and reach your goals, okay? So first things first. Local, okay? So I like to classify local as really anything where it's like gonna be in person, right? So that can be looking like print media, right? So that could be flyers or business cards. Now, they definitely do have their places, right? Now, local marketing can either be the easiest thing in the world or the hardest thing in the world. I'll give you an example. When I was first getting started in my business, I was going door to door with like a stack of flyers, literally with like information about my accounting services. And I would try and walk into like dentist offices, jewelry stores, and it would be very, very challenging because like the ones that wanted to work with you, they're like, yeah, let's go. But it's usually gonna be like a really small contract since they don't necessarily respect your skill set. They're not trying to pay top dollar. Or you would have it to where like one time I went down this main street in the city and there was a bunch of shops on like the store, and every time I go in they'd be like, no, I'm actually working with Liz. Someone's like, you're probably not gonna get any business doing this because like Liz like is at all the events and like her office is right next door to our stuff and like she's gonna get all the clients. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. So it's like it's a lot more hustle and it can pay off, but it's gonna take you a lot more time. Now, if you can get a very strong niche like Liz did in the local market, everyone refers you and you start growing organically like that, right? So it's like, it does take some time to get in, and there are some already like, pretty strong incumbents. One thing you can do in the local area is maybe purchase a firm, but that comes with a different can of worms. Now, if you need help ever learning like what you should be looking out for when you're purchasing a business, join our mentorship program. We cover that inside of there, okay? Next, like inside of flyers and business cards, I don't mind business cards, especially if I'm already out in public, right? If I'm going to the gym, if I do like salsa dance classes, if I'm doing like meetup groups online, if I'm already in the community and I'm meeting people, if I go to like dance clubs, anywhere where people are gonna be talking to me, I'm gonna be having business cards handed out. Now I don't just want to put business cards like in a restaurant or something like on a wall. That's okay, but like it doesn't have that personalization. A business card what's meeting you works way better. Next thing is gonna be referral partners. So I like referral partners, especially in the local area, because they can send you the quality clients that you're looking for. And oftentimes they've become that incumbent person and now they're transferring all their trust, all their respect is going to you. So when you do get the client, you can charge more money than you could if you just like randomly met them 2 days ago. And the close rate is generally 80 to 90%. Any one of our students that grows really, really quickly has generally done it through referral partners. So the referral partner gave them like 5 to 10 clients at one time. Now, I actually have written a book on how to get referral partners. If you want that, type in below 6FP book. Now, currently, for all of my YouTube subscribers, I am giving you guys a discount because when I'm going to put it on Amazon in a couple of weeks, I'm going to probably put it on for like $16.99. But if you're watching this YouTube channel, I'm actually putting it on my website for $4.95 because I want to make sure there's like no reason why someone doesn't pick it up, right? Because not everyone has like, $17, to spend on a book, but everyone should have about $5. So if you want to go and get that and learn how to go and get six-figure partnerships, click the link or comment below, type 6FP, and you'll be able to go see it. Okay, cool. So next thing are gonna be like networking events. Now, networking events can be very hit or miss, right? I'll be honest, I don't like networking events. Not because they're not the greatest, but it's just very inconvenient for a lot of people. Like a lot of people, they're like, oh, maybe we should go to networking events, or maybe you've done like a course for like networking. But it's like, if you're working a full-time job, like I was when I first started, I didn't have time to go to like a networking event at 10:30 in the morning. Just not very time effective, So that's number 1, okay? Now, next thing is going to be digital marketing. So this is the next qualification and class of marketing, right? So when I think of digital marketing, first, like, low cost or free methodologies. That's LinkedIn outreach. That's posting in Facebook groups. That's Instagram Reels, right? Usually if you're going to build up a digital following for low cost, it's going to be some form of sending a friend request and then posting content on your profile. I can't say it any simpler than that. The problem that most people have is, number one, how many people do we accept a friend request? Number two, how do I know if the people I'm sending are actually relevant to what I'm trying to do? Number three, it's going to be, number three is generally like, what content should I post? Number four is, why is my content not working? Number five is like, how do I like get out of this like rabbit hole? You know what I mean? So low cost methodologies, they're never really meant for you to do for the rest of your career. It's meant to give you like a little bit of a push so that you can kind of build an audience. And then we're going to talk about that in like stage number 4. Right now we're in stage number 2, digital but low cost, okay? So when I'm thinking of LinkedIn outreach, I'm always thinking about like really just sending connection requests to people who would be potentially interested in working with me. Now this is very challenging. Like, don't get me wrong, like LinkedIn is the best social media platform for getting monthly bookkeeping and monthly accounting clients, but very, very challenging, right? Reason why is because, number one, unless you understand how to utilize LinkedIn search filters, you're not going to be able to actually do good quality client research before you friend request them. So you're basically going in blind. What that leads to is you're going to be talking to a lot of people that potentially might not be qualified to actually do your service, right? So it can be a little bit more challenging to kind of get the right person, number one. Number two, you have to be able to get them to fully tell you their pains and their problems right in front of you. And like that can be hard because, number one, you're going to be sending friend requests to people who maybe don't have a problem that you're going to be able to solve right now. Or they might have the problem, but they just don't know you or understand or not educated on like what you do enough to realize that you're going to help them with that problem. It's a very, very consistent thing. Like, you can't get upset when that happens. It's just normal occurrence, right? That's pretty normal. So with the LinkedIn outreach, you're gonna have what's called a lot of waste. Okay, the better you get at this stuff, the less waste you can do. Like, I can go and like send out 100 connection requests and then go get a client very, very relatively easily. And just because I know what I'm doing, I understand our messenger scripts. That's another thing. The message script. What message script do you do and send so that you can get someone to reveal their pains and their problems to you? Right. That's a skill. There's really 3 different types of messenger scripts I like to employ. Number one, it's going to be like get to know you script. Like, how are you doing? Just building a friendship and a relationship. That one is actually relatively advanced because the challenge is you develop a friendship, but you never really understand, if you're not like skilled, like how to turn the corner and get them to finally say, I want your help. Right? That's kind of like let's say that you're, a dude and some girl is like talking to you and like she's basically saying, I'm looking for a boyfriend who has this quality, this quality, this quality, this quality, and it totally matches every quality you have, but then the person never says anything. You're just kind of like sitting like, well, you just described me, but you don't really want to like do anything with me. And it's just like it's kind of like that perpetual kind of like friend zone. It's kind of what the LinkedIn like that first script will do if you're not skilled at how to get out of that, right? Second script I like to do is called a tripwire. It's basically where you offer some sort of article or item of value to someone, and if they take the bait, then you talk to them about that problem that article is about, right? That one's very beginner friendly. Like, whenever I talk about some of our students who get like really, really good cleanups off of LinkedIn, it's generally because they use a tripwire script like that. I developed that script specifically for students because like I would have some students and be like, well, I'm trying to use this one message script, but I just don't really understand it. And it's not that they're bad at the message scripts are bad or anything. It's just that some people don't really have a very good conversational background. So understanding like what are signs that someone's interested in talking to or working with you just aren't there. So this script makes it easier for people to just kind of tell you what their pains are, and then you can kind of like just have a more linear conversation towards booking the call. Third type of script that I like to use, and this is like the script that I use nowadays, is more of leading questions. So I'm playing chess inside of the messenger inbox because I can almost tell based on how someone's responding, what questions they're saying. I can know exactly where's this person in life, what problems they're going through, and like what is the outcome or the goal they're trying to have. And I can basically do like a messenger chess match to kind of move someone down to a point I need to do, to where booking a call is very, very simple. Now that sounds very complicated. It is. Let's be honest, it is. Now, like that's not necessarily a script that I would like probably teach for a beginner to do, just because I've had, you know, in my Facebook group we've had 40,000 people. In my LinkedIn I have 7,000 people. I had another LinkedIn account that had another 3,000 people. I've had 7,000 people in my Instagram. So what is that? That's 7,000 on Instagram plus 3,500 on Instagram 2 plus 7,000 on LinkedIn 1 plus 3,000 on LinkedIn 2 plus 42,000 in my Facebook group plus another, we'll say another like 1,500 in my school group. So I've had access to 64,000 conversations. That's a lot. Just being completely honest, that's a huge amount, in my opinion. Right? I know there's some people with like 100,000 subscribers on YouTube and like that, but for an average person like me, 64,000 conversations is a lot. So over that time, you know, you put in that 10,000 hours of communicating, you kind of understand like what to say. Okay, so that's the third type, right? And it's really tough. If you can get there though, you just print money. You print money. Okay. Now, most of you guys are not going to try and get to that skill set, right? So it's okay, right? So that's why I think the tripwire script is better for you. If you want examples of the tripwire script, I think I'm going to make another video where I kind of go into more detail into what that script looks like and how to build one for yourself. Next thing that's going to be important when it comes to like the low cost is like Facebook groups. Now, Facebook groups are very tricky, right? Because you're not supposed to openly promote yourself inside of it. How I use Facebook groups is more of I introduce myself to get people to understand what I do and get like some very cheap followers and friend requests. Like people will friend request you. Then I'm going down like the members list. I'm looking through the members list, and I'm looking through the Facebook members list, but I'm also like taking the name of the person, sending it over to LinkedIn, and seeing if I can match the person so I can use my LinkedIn research tools and friend request people on Facebook, right? Because the problem with Facebook and Facebook groups is that you can't see the company. Most people don't actually put their business information on, you know, Facebook. So you can't see what kind of business they have, how big is their business, how long they've been in business, you just can't see anything. So I like to pair Facebook groups with LinkedIn research and then send a friend request. From there, I'm gonna be posting on my profile different things, right? So you can do either video posts, you can do written posts, you can do like short, like little picture posts, like where it's like a background, you like have a cool or like, you know, kind of outrageous thing that you say that gets people all fired up, or ask like a really interesting question that gets people to be like, oh, this is interesting. Just stuff like that, you know? So it's actually very, very cool. But a lot of low-cost social media is going to be a lot of you friend requesting, then posting on your profile to get people who are interested to kind of raise their hand and say, like, they want help. Now, the more that you have to rely on posting, the less in control you're going to feel. Now, for me, I didn't really like that much. That's why I kind of go more to LinkedIn outreach, because I am the cause, not necessarily the effect, right? But versus when I'm posting, it's kind of like, if the right person sees it in the right amount of time and they kind of the right part of their life, they go. It's a lot like more serendipitous if you're really relying on infrequent posts to kind of make things work. The third type is going to be digital, but it's going to be variable cost advertising. So when I think of advertising, right, it's all about the container. So when I say container, it's like, where are you sending the people? Some people like they do like a traditional email or a traditional like marketing where it's like you run an ad to a landing page and then you maybe give them like a free guide and you email them for the rest of their life. That used to work. It's not as effective today. Like in order for you to like really get that to work, you have to be a top level marketer. I'm just being completely honest, and like that's not even me like trying to dissuade you from doing it. It's just if a methodology is so wide known that everyone talks and everyone like talks about it, it's gonna be harder for a beginner to implement. So if you're watching this video, I'm gonna assume that you're either like beginner or intermediate level. And even if you have like, I have a lady who has $300,000 per year in her accounting firm. When she joined my program, she got it basically through like localized referral partners, right? So she doesn't have very much marketing. So it's not always about how much money you're making. It's oftentimes just about how much experience you have with the marketing, right? So even it's not really always about how much money you make. It's like, what is your experience level kind of doing that, right? Now for her, you know, when she's at 300,000, a lot of the stuff that we're changing is around her pricing, her services she's offering, and her upsell path, because she has the marketing down to a certain degree. Like it's these referrals, right? She just got, I think, like 3 referral calls this week. She's gonna get like 3 more this week as well. So it's like she has the growth part down. It's just more about like building the actual business around it, like hiring the right people and just kind of like getting her time back, et cetera, et cetera. Now, whenever I think about ads, it's all about where are you sending the people. So first we talk about like a landing page for an email list. That's cool, but it's not going to keep them engaged as much. What I've actually tended to do is actually send them either to a Facebook group of mine that I own, as well as an Instagram follower list, okay? Another one is like a school group, but like school groups can be too advanced for most people, right? So Instagram or Facebook group. The reason why is because I need to be able to contact them for free in a very simple, low-cost way, right? Now, I like the Facebook group and I like Instagram because I can make posts and people are going to see them. I can also do another ad that's what's called retargeting. So it always reintroduces me to that person so they understand what I can do. Next, I can have videos and like reels that I post to people over and over and over again for free, so they're constantly seeing my face, right? Then number 4, I can run even another type of ad that gets them to directly want to book a call with me. So it's you have much more ability to stay in front of a lead versus like paying for them one time, maybe getting an email, maybe they give you a fake email, right? And then like it's just tough, right? So also, the reason why it's important is because these are the places where people are going to be going every single day. People are going to be looking at their Facebook. They're going to be looking at their Instagram. So they have a much higher likelihood of actually seeing you, getting to know you, and then wanting to buy from you. Now, the tough part about ads, though, is not necessarily just like where to send them. It's also about like what is your content strategy, but even more importantly, how much it actually costs to get a client. Now, the ideal, we call it CPA, cost per acquisition, or cost to get a client. The ideal is going to be $300 per client. Now, that's ideal. And even $300 per client might sound like a lot, but to put in perspective, for like the first like 3 to 5 years of my business, I used to have ad campaigns where it cost me $1,500 to get a client, and I paid for 100 of these clients. So I paid, what is that? What's 1,500 times 100? That's what, was that 150, 150? Yeah, I paid $150,000 to get 100 clients, right? Now, I made some good money off of those clients, don't get me wrong, but for people where it's like, oh, I spent $50, I didn't get a call, or I spent this, and I didn't get this, like, well, you just didn't spend enough. With ads, you have to spend a lot of money, because ads are not fast. Ads are controllable and consistent. So ads are more of like a math equation where it's like I find out how much it costs me to get one, or we'll say after getting 3 clients. So it's like you get 3 clients and then you divide the amount of money you spent divided by the number of clients, right? If you got 1, it could have just been lucky. But when you get 3, you generally have a pattern, right? 1's lucky, 2 could be a fluke, 3 is a pattern. Okay, so I'm taking, what is that number? So let's say in this example, it's like, we'll just say $500, right? So then for me, it's like, okay, so if I want to go and get 3 clients, I have to spend $1,500. Now, the problem that most people have is like when they spend the money, they're expecting to get a lead like right away. Like, oh my gosh, they're going to see my ad and they're going to buy. The thing with advertising is advertising can take a little bit longer for a lead to come to you because they're colder, right? They don't know who you are. You just showed up randomly on their page. The emphasis on you is to go and now build a relationship with them. That's why I said send them a Facebook group or Instagram profile, right? Because now you can start getting them to know who you are over time. So it's consistent. It's not fast. I know that for that $1,500 that I spent, if I'm going to get 3 clients, I know that that's going to be over the course of a year. So I might get 1 client in the first 30 days. If I don't spend any more advertising, I might get another client within like the first 90 days. And then I might get another client that's like 7 months from now. 7 months from the original time that the person followed me, right? So it's like, it's not faster, it's just consistent. And you can predict it. And that's the difference. That's why I don't really advise for most like beginners to like do it. Unless you have like a lot of money, just like maybe from your corporate job or just money sitting around. Like for me, for example, I have so much cash flow coming into my business. In some cases, it's actually irresponsible for me not to put a little bit of money back into advertising, right? And like, again, so in the beginning, like most of you guys should expect like it's going to cost you about $1,000 per client, just due to lack of skill. You don't know what you're charging. Your sales skills might be off. You might be running a pretty incongruent ad. There's just a lot of things that might not line up when it comes to advertising in the beginning, right? So that's why it's like, I would only do advertising if I had a lot of money and I didn't mind just throwing, like literally like lighting like lighter fuel on it. Or if I was like working with someone that knew what they're doing with ads. That's why people do our mentorship program, because it's like, I can tell you what ads are going to work. I had a guy who came in yesterday and like he's been running ads for a while and he joined our program. And I was like, oh shoot. So what's the average amount of money these guys are paying you once they start working with you? This about $100 a month. Okay, cool. So what is your original ad say? Well, it was talking about people who are having money problems. Like, well, yeah, if you have a business having money problems, of course they can't afford your stuff. So like, okay, so you have to actually work on this problem. So we switched the problem, and now you're starting to get better quality leads, and we can kind of tell the quality leads based on like the form they submit whenever they join like his Facebook group. So it's like there's different things you can tell to see if your ads are going in the right direction to make sure that cost per like sale goes down. And again, like you have to know what you're doing and before you start risking money in ads. Now, I had a coach I paid to learn advertising. I had a couple coaches that taught me advertising, but one of them's like, yeah, man, if you're gonna run ads, like you gotta just have an initial test budget that you're willing to like let go up in flames. Nowadays, I don't do that, but like, cause I know before it happens, like what ad I should be running. But in the beginning, it is something that will happen to you if you don't know what you're doing, right? The fourth type, this is actually the most, I think, long-term effective. It's more of a hybrid, right? So you're using the internet like LinkedIn to go and build local referral partners that keep sending you leads. You also have a bit of a brand. So that's when you can start really consistently making content that resonates with potential clients and clients that already are going to work with you, right? So now people actually like seeing they like reading and following up with you, right? Maybe you're doing some videos, maybe you're doing some written stuff, but it's very consistent content that's all around a very specific topic that people really enjoy. And then when you start spending money on ads, you have this ecosystem where people can do your ad, fall into your content, and then they go and warm up with you faster and they want to buy from you. So now you're getting the fast leads from the referral partners, you're getting the consistent leads from the ads, but then you're also getting the organic kind of posting that's going to cause people to like you faster. And then with the ad spend, rather than it being like a $1,500 to get a client, now it's more like $300, because as they go on this side and they see more of that organic free content, they like you more. So it gets you get a higher percentage of those original people or leads from ads to convert. So it's like, for me, for example, I make just as much money off of $1,000 ad spend nowadays as I did when I was spending $5,000 to $6,000 a month. So literally, what is that? That is, let's say that I was spending $5,500 a month. So 1,000 divided by, we'll say 5,500. So I used to spend $5,500 a month in ads. So I am paying, what is that? 1 minus 0.18. I'm paying. It's funny, I'm paying like 82% or a little bit less than but I'm paying 18% of what I used to. 18% to get the same amount of result because my content's so much better, right? So that's the thing. It's like when you're starting out, your skill sets are not really quite there, but as you get better and better and better, you're gonna make more and more and more, and things get more efficient, okay? So that's how you market accounting services and you market an accounting business. If you have any other questions, leave them inside the comments below. If you want further like tips on like what you should be doing for any of the stuff we talked about, write in the comments so I can know what videos to make next. Also, if you want some help growing your business, like maybe even try, it's just not quite going the way that you want, or maybe you're starting your accounting firm, it's just so much stuff that's overwhelming you, and you want like the fastest path for success. Click the link inside of the description or above or below the video. Let's book a call with myself. Let's see if I can help you inside of our mentorship program, okay? I will talk to you soon. Have a good rest of your day.